second largest. At this point, for example, from Siquirres to Limon, there is no another way to get from Siquirres to Limon. This is the only one. And as you can see, this is the second longest bridge in Costa Rica. So this is a very, very important and costly bridge for us. And even though it was damaged during the earthquake of 1991. At that time, before the earthquake, it had 3 spans. One simple supported span at this side that continuous steel girder that you can see, and at the other side, another simple supported span. And both simple supported span collapsed during the earthquake, both of them. And in this section of the road, this is the National Road number 32. In the bridge program, we call, it's a joke obviously, but we call it the National Museum of Seismic Damage in Bridges. And it is for a reason, because most of the bridges from Siquirres to Limon were damaged because of liquefaction, for example. There is another national road that goes from Limon to the border with Panama, where more or less 5 to 6 bridges collapsed because the support length wasn't enough. So in this case was more because of liquefaction and things like that. And those bridges in this section are exactly had the earthquake strike them. So it's like a museum for us. And in this case, for example, this simple supported span, they decided to fill it with earth and create an embankment. So right now, the last pier is the abutment, for example. And you are gonna see that, for example, the bearings are rocker bearings, and they rotate in that direction. So they are completely supported on the back wall of the pier and now the abutment. And you can see too, or you're gonna see that the central span, yeah. You're gonna see that the continuous span was displaced in that direction, like 30 centimeters. In the case of the other simple supported span, it collapsed too, but they lifted and they put it on the, let's say, temporary support, steel support pier. But it has 30 years right now, or so far, so it wasn't that temporary. That's the people from the administration. So, for example, I want to comment you something, and I want you to tell me what do you think, and in order to know what is your thoughts about it. Because, for example, in this case, this bridge is really important. It's the only way to get access to the main port of Costa Rica. It is a costly bridge for us, and it was severe damage during the earthquake. So we recommended to the administration that they had to prioritize this bridge among others in order to do an intervention, because even if it is obvious that it can bear the life load, if another earthquake strikes, it was already damaged, so it's gonna be catastrophic. And what do you think? It is the correct approach? It's not the correct approach? If you can see the life load is okay, or you should prioritize the bridge. What do you think? What would be the best approach? And thinking that you don't have enough money, that you have a limited amount of sources or resources, what do you think? What should be the best? Could you cope with the bridge like it is, even because it didn't collapse during the earthquake? What do you think? Like to do a more in-depth research, something like that. Okay, because the answer of the administration was that it wasn't necessary, because the bridge is like this, because it wasn't necessary. So and the answer was in a Muckley way. Does it make sense? Muckley? Yeah. So the answer of the administration was that because you can see that the bridge can support the live load, it wasn't necessary to do anything in the short, medium, or long term. And that was the answer. And we have to deal with that every day in terms of our relationship with the administration. Yeah, maybe right now the thing is that had you already saw there is a project right now in order to widen the road, so the bridge is going to be retrofitted. Yeah, I don't think that a new bridge.
Will they just widen this span?
They are going to build another bridge. Yeah, and then I think they are going to retrofit this, and maybe because of the cost. Right, because the new do a new bridge could be just too costly.
When
So,
was this bridge originally constructed?
yeah, good question. It was constructed in more or less 1974. 1974. It's a pre-seismic, let's say, bridge with the ASHO 1965 code.
Before it started construction before the Costa Rica code.
Yeah, exactly. And more or less before all the knowledge, and I'm talking about the knowledge around the world of support length and transverse seismic log and directional and so on. So, and I don't know, any questions?
What's the length of the span?
The total is 520 meters.
I mean the individual spans?
The total. The individual, let me see,
How many spans are there?
3. But right now, we have 2. That was before the earthquake.
What are the main damage scenarios that you can see? So there's liquefaction?
Now, in this place, we haven't had liquefaction.
Okay, so what is the main visible damage?
You can, for example, in the case of the supports, of the bearing supports, you can tell that they are displaced in that direction, like 30 centimeters. And in the rocker bearing supports at the now the abutment, but before to that the pier, you can tell that they are supported on the back wall of the pier right now. That is most of the damage.
Here, some professionals from the government. They are going to give us a little bit more context on the project that is happening right now. That you can see it is redo the whole road and the bridges and everything. So let's hear them too. They have, I guess, something very interesting to say. So please just wait for a little bit. I'm just going to bring them here.
Ugolino Paniagua is an engineer who works for the CONAVI, which is part of the Ministry of Transportation here in Costa Rica, and he is one of the persons who is in charge of the unit, who is in charge of this project of widening the segment of road of Limón, and he will give us some words about this project. So what we're going to do is he's going to be telling us, passing us the information in Spanish, and Sergio will be doing the translation. Thank you very much.
No, it's just for the camera. Okay.
Yo creo que primero vamos a hacer una presentación del proyecto muy breve.
Okay, so we are first going to introduce the whole project of renovation and redoing of the road and the bridges.
El proyecto tiene 106 kilómetros, tiene 33 puentes sobre la ruta principal y va a ser ampliado a 4 carriles.
Okay, the whole project is 106 kilometers. It has 33 bridges and it's going to be expanded to 4 lanes in total.
Okay. Como parte de los trabajos a realizar, obviamente hay que intervenir los puentes existentes. bajo el concepto de rehabilitación.
As part of the project, since we have many of them that are damaged, we have to do retrofitting on them.
De esos 33 puentes existentes, 10 van a ser sustituidos por puentes nuevos debido a la condición que presentan.
Out of those 33 bridges, 10 of them are going to be completely new because of their current condition.
Y esa condición del estado actual de estos puentes se debe principalmente a la afectación sísmica.
And most of the damage of those 10 bridges that are going to be built completely new is because of the damage caused by the earthquakes.
Ahora, aquí es importante la condición de suelo. Por ejemplo, la condición de suelo desde el inicio del proyecto hasta cierto punto, LanammeUCR, es una condición donde la grava está más cercana. En cambio, de Siquirres hacia Martina Limón tenemos suelos muy blandos y muy profundos, que eso pues ha afectado a los puentes que están más dañados.
So there's a large portion of the whole road that has very soft soils. So that's one of the reasons why many of them have a lot of damage. The other portion has more competent soils, so that's probably why you see a difference in their performance.
Sí, y uno de esos puentes es casualmente este puente muy importante en el que estamos aquí, el puente Chirripó. Si hubiera oportunidad, podríamos ver algún otro puente para que vean cómo fueron afectados los daños que se presentan.
So one of those bridges located in a soft soil condition is precisely this one. And if we get some chance, we might be able to see other bridges that were also highly affected by earthquakes in the past.
Okay. Entonces, me imagino que la hora ahora es ver los daños que presentan los puentes. Y vamos a ver tal vez primero Chirripó y algún otro. Ahora, la intervención que se le va a hacer a los puentes existentes, la rehabilitación es una intervención de mejorar sus condiciones y de reforzarlos acorde a la normativa vigente. Entonces la normativa vigente de hoy exige mucho reforzamiento a los puentes, ¿verdad? Porque vamos con el concepto no de restaurar, sino de reforzar y de reforzar con la normativa vigente.
Okay, as Esteban was saying, well, this one was built around 74, and many of these other bridges that we are passing over were built many years ago. So the concept of retrofitting is to be putting them according to the current standards, which makes total sense, right? So that's the intention, that we bring up the bridges up to standards currently.
Ahora, yo no sé si ya ahora podemos, con esta primera parte, ya ir a ver.
So I think we now can go to the site and maybe observe some of the damages. Let's try to keep our group don't go away from the group.
Un puntito que se me olvidaba.
One last thing.
Los daños que vamos a ver en este puente y en otro puente, muchos fueron causados por un terremoto que hubo aquí en el año 1991. 1991. Y de hecho, ahora vamos a ver acá, este puente es más largo de lo que uno ve. Hay un tramo que está enterrado.
Well, a little bit of what Esteban was saying. Most of the damage that we see in this bridge is because of the 1991 earthquake. And this bridge used to be longer but now it's shorter because one of the spans was filled with earth, and then now it's the abutment. So, yeah, that's an
Y las
important.
razones de que esté enterrado era que por emergencia y dar paso fue necesario
Yeah.
enterrarlo, pero ahora que se va a intervenir, pues se va a hacer más largo.
Yeah, it was done. That field, earth field, was done as an emergency. I think Esteban told that too. It was meant to be a temporary solution, but now that we are doing a retrofitting, now the bridge is gonna become longer again. Make bridges longer again, I guess. All right.
Y, y esa longitud es necesaria rescatarla por condiciones hidráulicas, hidrológicas, de la capacidad hidráulica.
Yeah, and that is very important too. Something that also Esteban said was that the river basically does what he wants. So he just wanders in very different locations. So we need to recover that length, because otherwise we will have any moment we're going to have the river just in this side over here.
Bueno, yo creo que para hablar de daños es mejor verlo. Pero vamos.
Yeah. So we're gonna actually see the damage now. You have a question?
Are we going to cross over the bridge on the other side? Sí, paso al otro lado.
Sí.
Ahí paso al otro lado, Alejandro. Hay paso para llegar hasta el otro lado. Bien. The new construction.
Yo creo que podemos acercarnos mucho.
All right. I'm sorry. She had a question. So
Why are you doing the 4-lane expansion? Because it just doesn't seem.
there's a lot of traffic that today is a Saturday. So it's not such a busy day, but usually you would have a lot of trucks using this route because there's a port. We're gonna actually see the port. A new port was built and was opened very recently, and it's expected that the traffic is gonna increase even more. So that's why we are expanding this to 4 lanes. So you had another question. Yes.
Will they be using the isolators you showed?
I'm not sure. That's a good question for them. ¿Van a usar aisladores sísmicos en este?
Va a ser un tipo de apoyos, o sea, el diseño es bajo el concepto elástico, entonces son apoyos especiales, que para el mismo diseño van a tener la capacidad de desplazamiento, o en otras palabras es como que le va a permitir absorber los desplazamientos que va a tener el puente.
Right.
Ahora podemos ver en algún momento, porque traemos los planos para que vean el detalle de los planos, de los apoyos.
That'd be great. So they are not going to use isolators, but they are actually going to use another strategy for the bearings. There's this special kind of bearings that allow you to have large displacements. And he's saying that we can actually see the construction plans, so you can understand what we are talking about.
Para determinar las medidas de rehabilitación de este puente.
So now that you know that what is the damage, you have seen the damage. Now what he's going to explain us is what were the studies that were done in order to take action about what are going to be the repairs.
Okay. Hay un estudio de una evaluación detallada para determinar los daños que presenta el puente.
There's a study that's been done, this one here, which presents all the in detail all the repairs that are going to be done to this bridge.
Okay. Además de eso, el puente se ha evaluado estructuralmente para determinar la capacidad remanente que tiene y así poder determinar las medidas de reforzamiento en cada uno de los elementos estructurales.
So this bridge was assessed structurally in order to find out what is the remnant strength that it has, in order to define what is the retrofit that will take place.
Entonces, con este estudio de evaluación del estado de conservación y de evaluación de la condición estructural, más los estudios geotécnicos, más los estudios hidrológicos, hidráulicos y los estudios de amenaza sísmica, el contratista Check nos va a presentar las medidas de rehabilitación del puente.
Okay, so they have been done several studies, structural study, geotech, hydrology, hydraulics, and there is a specific seismic hazard study that's been done, and their office is just waiting for that information in order to tell us what is going to be the rehabilitation that's going to take place. Remember that this construction this road is a design construction, so therefore they are working on the design as they are working in the construction of other segments of the road and bridges.
Okay. Igualmente para los 33 puentes, cada puente tiene su estudio preliminar, su estudio para determinar el alcance de la rehabilitación a realizar.
Okay. There are 33 bridges. Of those, all of them has, ya se sabe la rehabilitación, ya se hizo.
No, ya se sabe la intervención, no, pero tiene los estudios que van a soportar las medidas de rehabilitación.
Ya se hicieron los estudios.
Sí, todos.
So all 33 bridges, the studies already exist, and we're just waiting for the rehabilitation that is going to be recommended. That's it. Thank you very much. From now on, what we're going to do is we're going to another bridge in order to show you liquefaction damage on piles. So let's go. Thank you.
So this is the bridge over the Cuba River. All right, so Hugo is going to help us to understand what happened here. All right?
Aquí vamos a ver un tipo de daño que no vimos en el puente Chirripó. Este es un puente ya con vigas postensadas, este tramo. El Chirripó más largo y era con vigas de acero.
All right, first difference is that this bridge is made of post-tensioned girders, as opposed to the steel girders that we saw in the Chirripó Bridge.
Okay. El terremoto de Limón dañó los bastiones. Visualmente es comprobable, ¿verdad? No tenemos fisura, grieta. Esto es una fractura, se llama una fractura.
All right, so it's not necessary to tell you that this is damaged. So it's evident that we have a fracture here. The earthquake in 1991 caused a lateral spread, spread of the back soil, and there was a big amount of damage in this abutment.
La solución de fundación de este puente está basada en pilotes hincados, pilotes que se fabrican previamente y luego, esa era la tecnología de ese momento y lo podemos ver, esos pilotes que son hincados, que es parte de la vida fundamental, pues están...
So the foundation, the original foundation, which is what you're seeing here right now, was these piles that are hammered down into the soil, and when we had this rotation, they just came up.
Similar situación presentan otros puentes más adelante y el bastión del lado allá.
Similar situation you can see in other bridges along the way and in the other abutment as well.
Entonces cuando uno ve este daño, se pregunta, ¿lo vamos a reparar? o lo vamos a sustituir.
So yeah, the question is, are we gonna retrofit this one or build a new one? So
Desde luego, hay que sustituirlo.
yeah, there's no question, not really a question, right? So we shouldn't be thinking about retrofitting this. It's just a build a new one. So
Ok. Como dije al principio, este puente todavía ya no tiene capacidad para afrontar otro tipo de sismo. Entonces, la solución prácticamente va a ser solución de sustitución.
yeah, this bridge doesn't have any capacity of absorbing any other earthquake. So the solution is just to replace it.
Ahora, si nosotros vemos las vigas
Because it's beams.
sí, y la losa está dañada,
There's damage in the deck.
si no fuera por la condición que presentan los bastiones, el puente es rehabilitable y no hubiera sido necesario una intervención más severa que conlleva una sustitución.
So yeah, see, he is saying there's some damage in the deck, but since we have such a severe condition here, there's nothing that can we possibly do to the deck because we have this other problem here. So there's no point in trying to retrofit the superstructure.
Y toda esta afectación que hemos visto, chirripó en este puente y en otros puentes, principalmente se debe a la afectación del sismo del 91, pero agravada por la condición de suelo blando que tenemos aquí a 30 metros, 40 metros.
So as I said before in the other bridge, we together said it. There's very soft soil here, so it's 30, 40 meters of soft soil. You have to dig it very, very deep to get to the good.
Entonces la onda sísmica solicitó con más severidad pues, esta condición de puente.
So the earthquake wave comes to the bedrock and basically has like kind of a jello, and that you can imagine how yellow moves, and then that's what we are seeing here. There's a lot of damage here, but also you see these bolts over there that are damaged.
Pregunta puede ser por qué no se diseñó contra eso, ¿verdad? Una pregunta. Entonces hay que decir que antes de ese terremoto, la zona atlántica era considerada como una zona de poca afectación.
So you might ask yourself, why this bridge wasn't designed for these kind of conditions? And one of the reasons is that in the past we used to believe that this area of the country had a low seismicity. But as somebody pointed out in the presentations, Mother Nature has always another, so.
Entonces eso hizo cambiar que a partir de ese momento los espectros de diseño o los estudios sísmicos aumentaron la incidencia de los puentes de esta zona.
So we updated the building code, not the building, but the bridge code, such that we can account for this kind of new information. We are considering to have more severe earthquakes here now.
Y esas restricciones actualizadas son las que se van a aplicar para la rehabilitación de todo.
Yes, of course. So those new regulations is what we are gonna use for the construction of new buildings, as you would expect, right? So that is basically what de lo que tenemos, ¿verdad? That's basically it. So yeah, large damage here. There's a huge rotation of the abutment, and then the piles got exposed, and then damage in this pile over there, damage in the other abutment. There's no other option than substituting this bridge. All right. So here we have the honor to have Ruben Pasos. He is the manager of the company that was involved in the design of this structure here. So he's gonna give us a little bit of information about the whole project. Okay, so here's Ruben.
Okay, thank you. I'm Ruben, as they say. Well, I'm the manager of the company who built these bridges. I'm not the designer, so be careful with asking me. So I can explain you some typical issues of the project. So first of all, if we talk about this project, we have to talk about the foundation. No? We are in sandy soil, and the phreatic level, the water, if you go there, you can see the water. There are a floody area, all this is a floody area, and sand. So all these foundations are over pre-excavated piles, no? Pilotes, pre-excavated piles of 32 meters, more or less 100 feet now. Every foundation are different. We study each one different with a single study. So after that, as I say, there are the pre-excavated pile foundation. So we have the bridge are an hyperstatic bridge. You have one single piece. All the bridge are one single deck. You have only two suspension joints, one on the one abutment and one almost 1 kilometer after in the other abutment you have another suspension joint. So this, in the case of earthquake, they are designed under linear elastic condition. So we try to look for the máximo periodo de vibración.
The highest
period of vibration. So get the structures the more flexibility as we can. No, so we have the most important thing here is the triple pendulum. Apoyos. Ahora no me sale la palabra. Solator. Okay. So this element allow the bridge to move from the axe with 1.2 meters, so 4 feet, no? 4 feet in every direction, no? Because you see the form of the bridge. There's not a straight deck. You have an S, no? So you don't have in case of an earthquake, you don't have a single direction of vibration. You have all this more complicated. I can't explain you this, but so these elements, as I say, they allow. So when in a case of earthquake, you only have in every direction you have the movement of the soil, and you have in every direction the deck can move. So it's more flexible and more effective to resist an earthquake. So, no sé qué más puedo explicar. I forget one thing. As you know, I talk about the sandy soil and in the case of earthquakes, you have the liquefaction of the soil. So the design of the piles are, bueno, esto sí que no sé cómo se dice, lo de que el empuje negativo, eso igual lo sabes tú, el empuje negativo en caso de liquefacción de la arena.
Negative friction due to liquefaction.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
If you put you're excavating or putting down a
sea,
pile, then you're going to have friction.
Los pilotes no están calculados en punta, sino que están por fuste, por fricción.
All of them work in friction. So normal conditions is that you have friction going up as you push the spiles. But when you have liquefaction, then the whole thing just the whole soil collapses and pulls the piles downwards. So it's negative friction that is generated along the piles.
Ok. Yep. Yo no sé si queréis.
So I was thinking that maybe if you have questions for him, maybe we can make a few questions. Many of us were wondering why do we observe some sort of displacement on the isolators. So
¿Por qué ya están desplazadas?
Yes.
Why, this is because of just for the pre-stress.
Yes.
So just for the pre-stress of the concrete, and is sí, está como un poco encogido.
Lo que está ahí no es como una protección, porque el aislador interno está íntegro. Yo creo que eso es como un cobertor.
Sí.
Lo que tiene es un cover.
Sí, I sent you a video of one test of these pieces. No, I don't know if you see that. Okay, you can see inside the piece are three metallic pieces and una rótula.
Something that rotates.
Yeah, this it's very difficult to explain how it works. Really, you can see in the video how the displacement, the maximum displacement of the isolator.
Any other question?
What's the total length of the bridge? You said that there's about
890 this and 850 this, more or less.
Very long.
Near to 90. Yeah.
Very long.
Did you construct it from both sides and meet in the middle, or from one side?
We construct everything different. We have here in this bridge you have three different constructive systems. So all these spans are made with false work. No? With false work you make one span and one fifth length of the other, no? And you move the formwork to another place. This over the river, there are custom place mobile scaffolding, you know, and you have another here over the rail train, yeah. You have a precast beam. We made with precast beam. We have here 5 teams working together, and joder, ahora cómo explico esto. At the end, you have all the piece joined by the pre-stress. No? Inside, you have all the pre-stress joining every piece and make the deck a single piece. But you have, as I say, 5 teams working together, and one here, and then you join all the pieces in one.
Was it pre-stressed or post-tension together?
Yeah.
Post-tension?
Yeah, post-tension.
How long did it take for doing the construction?
We made it both in 1 year, from January del 17, de enero del 17 a enero del 18. Just 1 year, with pilots included.
Okay.
Yeah, they did it in a very tiempo muy
Very short
time.
Very short time.
Yeah, because we have in the contract of, you know, the harbor. The harbor is a concession contract, and we have a clause.
It's a clause.
Right. Clause that says that if we don't have the taxes ready for almost a day.
Yeah, before the harbor starts operation, we have to get them.
So they work very fast.
Yeah, and they put a gun on. No.
Was there was
damages, but was there a bonus if they got done early?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
So
penalties.
we get the bonus.
How many isolators are there? What's the period?
Wow. I think 55 or something like that. 55, yeah. But I don't remember. No, both. Yeah, both. Yeah.
Do you know what is the period of the isolator?
Whoa.
Do you know the period?
Periodo.
No idea. Sorry. As I say, I'm not the designer. I'm the manager of the company. I'm concerned about the money and the deadline, but not in the period. Sorry.
The reason that we made a
Overpass.
like a bridge here.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of reasons. One is, the river. The other one is that we have to near the railway. Okay. The other one is that we need to get to the harbor at certainly high. I don't know, como eran tiene que llegar como a 3 4 metros.
Yeah.
You have to get to the harbor like 4 meters, high. So, and also because of environmental issue. Okay. This is like a like a park and everything.
National park.
Once
Protected area.
right now the electricity company is working in these structures to bring electricity to the harbor. Okay. Once they finish, we took away that bridge and wait for the nature to take place of this. Okay. So the animals can go forward. Okay. Also, you can see there that like a pantalla
Screen.
like a screen made of tubes over there. Okay, that's for the birds.
Oh, is it?
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Like the fence that is on both sides of the bridge.
that's
Yes.
for the birds.
It's for the birds to see the.
Trucks,
the white one.
When a bird is going, doesn't hit the birds. Okay, and also we have in the other side, we have one section that is on the ground. On the ground. Okay, it's not a bridge. It's on the ground. You can see also the animal pass, higher animal pass for the monkeys and everything. And also we have, también tenemos pasos
Yeah,
fauna,
subterráneos.
Animal pass over.
Well, all this is a big pass for the animals.
Yes.
If you wait a minute, you can see snakes and everything,
Be careful with the snake.
especially with the snakes. So we catch here caiman, alligators, small alligators here.
Crocodiles.
So
They don't eat people frequently, but
Who decided that that's ecology? Did you choose between several
Yeah.
options, or it was the?
I think, yo pienso que en el cartel ya estaba especificado más o menos
¿De
cómo
qué,
era la tipología del puente.
no.
No,
No, it was. This is a design and
que fue previo a mí. Yeah.
So
Okay. The contract is a design and construction. So we,
decide what kind of solution they want or they will use.
so the conditions of the contract, I think,
Yeah, the condition was the high.
the hyperstatic, yeah. So
No,
the
perspective, no.
No?
No. I remember there was one solution that has many joints.
Yeah.
Expansion
because
joints.
it wasn't hyperstatic.
Okay.
So
No, so we decided.
yeah.
Este mantenimiento es muy favorable, que no haya tanta junta.
For maintenance, it's better not to have many joints.
Yeah, the joints usually make complications.
Yeah. This contractor for us, I'm from the administration. So this contractor, Puentes y Calzadas, made also the ¿cómo se dice? Intercambio.
Interchange.
Overpass.
The overpass in Cañon Liberia, and they also did it in a they did it very fast.
They use
very
isolators.
good.
So?
You use
Yeah,
isolators.
they use high dumping rubber.
No,
isolators.
not the same.
New concept.
Yeah, but not the same. Not triple pendulum.
No,
Yes.
no, not this, not because it's,
En la oferta de ellos presentaron soluciones tradicionales, pero no esperaban que las condiciones de suelo de aquí son muy diferentes a las de Caña Liberia. Entonces, las condiciones del suelo, 32 metros de pilotes y seguimos en arena. Entonces aquí la solicitación sísmica fue mucho mayor. Entonces tuvieron la necesidad de ir de este tipo de solución.
At the beginning was more or less the first solution, and then
Yeah, we didn't expect that 32 meters of piles. We didn't expect so because
it wasn't expected.
was unexpected. So
For the
when we made the
before.
sondeos, the study of the
soil,
foundation,
yeah.
we found that you have sand and sand and sand and sand and sand after the sign of the contract. Yeah, we made
Did
the
you have any previous study or something like that?
no.
100 feet of sand.
Yeah,
And
it's
just keep
crazy.
going.
and it's going.
So we made almost the double of the piles that we expect, but bad luck.
The risk is part of the risk.
Maybe you guys answered this already, but I'm curious, what's the motivation for the S shape? It seems like a straight line from here to here.
¿No entendí?
¿Por qué lo hicieron, digamos, curvo? Si parece que
Ah.
es más fácil hacerlo recto.
Yes. This is because ¿cómo se dice derecho de vía?
Okay, this is the right of the way that we have. It was like that. And also the problem was that, you know, because this is a national park, like, you know, for environmental and everything, it was very hard to change that right of the way, you know, in terms of...
Here there was, I think,
Yeah, so we are very, very strict with the environmental regulation here, so...
aquí ya había un derecho de recope, ¿no? Que venía de...
Sí. Yeah, this was a very old right of the way. We have to respect that.
Once the wildlife comes back, can they still inspect the towers and stuff? Because will the vegetation start growing here again?
Well, we have to, some way.
Well, thank you very much to Ruben and Kenneth. They have been helping us a lot today.